Hey you guys, so we're back. It's several days later. I got a little sidetracked recording this video, but I'm back and now I'm going to describe to you the basics for sleeping, which is a really big issue. I'd say probably the biggest issue when you have a newborn is the biggest challenge too. What's the best way for you to sleep around your baby and what the baby should wear to sleep. So I'm going to start with telling you guys that you don't need a whole setup, like a whole nursery for the baby right away. It's recommended that the baby sleep in your room right beside you until around 6 months, from everything that I've heard. So let me begin by saying that you don't need to invest in a whole nursery. Cribs are very expensive. Like a nursery, baby furniture is very expensive. So you can get away with little furniture wise when when the baby's first born. So we ended up going with a co-sleeper bassinet, and I'm going to show you a picture of it and probably put the name of it inside this video. But basically a co-sleeper bassinet is a bassinet that is beside your bed. We put it on my side of the bed, and one of the sides goes down so that you can actually reach out and touch the baby. Hold on, I'll be back. I'm going to see what I can do to make her not fuss. So Delilah went with Dad, and I'm back to tell you about how we were able to sleep through the night with Delilah when she was about, I'd say, 3 weeks to a month. She was sleeping through the night, maybe because we got lucky. But so, like I was saying, we had a co-sleeper bassinet. It is the kind that's by your bed. One side goes down. However, I never put the side down because I was always afraid. She was so little. I was always afraid that I would throw a pillow on her. I'm like a really crazy sleeper, so I'm always moving. I was always afraid a pillow would go on her, or the blanket. I sleep with several blankets too, or something would go on her and smother her. So that side has never come down to this day, and she turns 6 months today. Really exciting. August 12th. She was born February 12th, so 6 month. Half birthday. So that's what we used. We started off the first couple of days with an eye comfort bassinet. I made a whole registry for myself as soon as I found out I was pregnant. I just wanted an organized list of everything that I needed. And that's just the bassinet that I picked for my registry. I think I ended up getting it. My registry was with Bye Bye Baby, but this is from Walmart. This one I think I got from Walmart. The price was better. So that's another thing I recommend you do. I made one registry, really not for gifts, just for myself to keep track of what I had and what I didn't. And like Bye Bye Baby gives you a list of like everything you're gonna need. You're not gonna need everything on that list, but for the basics, that's what I went with. So we did we had an eye comfort bassinet. It was really pretty, like your traditional looking bassinet. It did rock back and forth, but it had the little canopy on it and like the little skirt on the bottom, a little basket to hold stuff. It's a beautiful bassinet. I will also insert a picture of it. And nothing really wrong with it. Just I couldn't really see the baby when she was sleeping in it, even though she was 3 feet away from the bed. I couldn't see the baby. The sides were not mesh. Like only a little bit of the sides were mesh. The rest was like soft. So another concern of mine is if she were to get her head against the soft part, she would also suffocate. Because again, tiny thing, first baby, I was really paranoid about that. So after us not being able to see her in that bassinet for the first couple of days, I looked up different side sleeper bassinets, and we went to Bye Bye Baby. And this one just happened to be on sale, and we purchased it. And one of the greatest things for the baby we've ever purchased. She sleeps right beside me. I'm comfortable. I can look over the ledge and see her like right beside me. And she still sleeps in it. I'm kind of training her to sleep in her crib. She has a really pretty crib. But we have used it twice since she's been born. And again, she just turned 6 months. So you don't need a crib or a whole bedroom right away. Another thing that I want to talk about as far as sleep goes is if you have a double layer house, or like stairs in your house, you're going to want something on the first level for her to sleep in. We bought a pack and play. Again, I originally put it on my registry, and that's what she sleeps in when she takes naps downstairs. It also allows you an area to change her, and it's just a really convenient item to have. Honestly, if you have one level in your house, you can get away with a pack and play for everything, for changing table, sleeper, And some of them even come with a bassinet, which ours didn't. We just always put her in like the flat, long bassinet that it came with. But I purchased my pack and play from Walmart as well, and we still use it downstairs when she takes naps. Great investment. I would highly recommend one of those. So that being said, we also have, this isn't sleep related, and I am going to go into changing tables when I talk about diapers, but we have a changing table. Instead of in our bedroom, we have the sleeper for her to sleep in, like the side-by-side bassinet, the co-sleeper, and then we have a separate changing table in our bedroom. But I'll go more into that later. So one thing I want to mention, I have heard of a lot of women using a DockATot, or a lot of families using a DockATot in their bed to co-sleep with. Like, I feel like it's kind of become a generally accepted thing for people to do. I do not think that is safe. We were gifted a DockATot, which, I mean, it's a really nice item to have if you're putting the baby on the couch with you, to sit beside you. A newborn baby can't really do much. They're trapped with the walls of the DockATot, sitting beside you, just lounging. That's what it is. It's a lounger. But even the instructions of it clearly say, this is not made for sleep. And please, like, heed those instructions. If you put that in your bed and a pillow falls on the baby in the middle of the night, she could suffocate. Like, I would not take that chance. I just want to mention that. We do have a DockATot, and it is something people use to co-sleep, but that's not to be confused with a co-sleeper bassinet, which is actually a separate bed, individually dedicated solely to your baby. So, wanted to make that note. Another thing I want to talk about regarding sleep is it is recommended for babies to be swaddled from birth up until the time that they can roll over. It helps with the some sort of reflex they have, like in their sleep. They'll like jump and wake themselves up. I forget what that reflex is called, but we did swaddle her, and at first we started using just regular swaddles, like the little blanket she came home with from the hospital. I bought a lot of swaddle blankets. I had added those to my registry as well, several of them, and if you're able to use swaddle blankets and you know how to swaddle your baby in them and you can get the baby to stay in there, then that's great. I didn't. So ours were always loose. Her little arms were coming out, and we never got the hang of using those swaddles. So we had to look into other swaddles that were easier. I'm recommending two here. This one is a little swaddle sack. I have taken the arms off now that she's older. She actually doesn't use this anymore, but this is a swaddle sack. It's from Happiest Baby, and she slept in these pretty much once we realized we weren't good at using the swaddle blankets. She slept in these for about at least her first 3 months. And this basically, all you do is put the baby in here, like her arms will be in here, and zip it up. So I used to leave it like laid open on her bassinet like this, and then these, it has little Velcro straps inside that come apart like that. So I would leave it laid open on her bassinet, getting like ready for her naps or for her to go to sleep, so that I could just put her in there after she was sleeping. Or you could put them in there like while in the process of going to sleep, so you don't wake them up. Because sometimes it was a challenge to get her in here and not wake her up. But I would put her in here, and the way it works is you lay her down and wrap these little straps. Like, you put her arms down, and then these little straps hold her arms kind of around her, not too tight. I was always afraid to do it too tight, but so don't do it that tight, because you don't want them to be uncomfortable. Yeah, you wrap these little straps around them, and once the baby her little arms are next to her body, you zip it up, and that's pretty much it. The baby is quote unquote swaddled in this little sack. And that to me was a lot easier than using a swaddle blanket. Yeah, and she couldn't get out of this. So this brand was really great for us. Another brand I found that had the same idea, I actually did see this on Instagram, so I had to buy it. This is Nested Bean. These are really cute. Again, I took the arms off because she started rolling over. But these, another thing, like same idea, it's a sleep sack swaddle. Unzip it, has the little straps inside. So same idea. I liked these because it has this little weighted egg shaped character with little beans in it, and it's supposed to make the baby feel more comfortable because there's weight on her chest, similar to like your hand on her when she's going to sleep. It makes her feel secure. So I did like to use these as well. I discovered this. I think I used this and the Happiest Baby interchangeably, depending on which one was dirty and which one was not. Both of those worked out really well for me as swaddles. And I did take the arms off when she started rolling over, but she no longer uses these. Right now, either she just sleeps in like a footed baby sleeper full body outfit, or I put her in like a simple onesie and then put this on her. This is a wearable blanket or wearable baby sack, and her little arms will go in and I just zip it up. There are no straps to hold her arms down or go around her body because she's big enough for her. She doesn't need those anymore. And I think the startle reflex, that's what it's called, it's no longer an issue at this age. I did notice too that she had, I don't know if you've seen babies that kind of tend to like shiver or shake. She never really had that. Like maybe at first when she was born, but I do think swaddling helps with that as well. I don't know what that's called or if swaddling really does help, but I do notice that she never really had that, but we consistently swaddled her every single time she went to sleep and always put her to sleep in her bassinet, never in the bed with us. So we try to follow to this day the sleep rules as closely as possible. Last thing I'm going to talk about regarding sleep, you want to invest in a really high quality rocking chair. I'd say for each level of your house, if your baby's going to be sleeping on each level of your house. So my favorite rocking chair we actually have in our bedroom. I love to rock her in there. We got it from Bye Bye Baby. It looks like a regular recliner. It's like this light gray color regular recliner. I'll insert a picture of it. But it's super nice, super comfortable. It rocks back and forth smoothly. I think it even swivels. It does swivel. And it also reclines, which I use not when I'm rocking her, just sometimes to just chill out at the end of the night. So invest in a really good rocking chair because I rock my baby to sleep for every nap and before she goes to sleep every night. We perhaps need to work a little bit on sleep training. I am to this day still rocking her to sleep. Like she needs that or else she will just wake right up when I lay her down. So I need to make sure she's completely asleep before I put her down. It is a little bit of a burden on me, but she is my first baby and I personally love it. I feel like it's a really great time to bond with her. I'm no longer breastfeeding. I stopped doing that at about 3 months. So this is still my way of bonding with her and just like showing her affection. So definitely invest in high quality rocking chairs. And those are my tips for sleep and my basics for sleep. There might be more items that you would prefer or that more things you're particular about, and that is probably not everything that I've used, but these are the things that are the bigger items that stood out. So yes.